Good evening, Jeremy.
Hey, Sandy.
Is that young Sandy?
Yep, it's me.
Uh, how are you, Sandy?
Fine, Joe. Joe, I know some people who knew David Edelstein, and they knew you also, and they just had such beautiful accolades for you, especially when I told them about
You
the
sure
little
they were talking
speech you
about the
made.
right Joe?
Yes, it was the right one. There's only one Joe Thompson.
There you go.
Well, I'll tell you, it's
The original.
he's a very special person.
Oh,
Very special.
Edelstein, I was getting to know him through these ladies and some of the work that he's done. They would say in the middle of the night he would get up if someone was hungry and bring them food.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, at the board meeting, when family got burnt out, he was the guy that came by with the truck and helped them move and
Yeah.
gave me a ton of food. And, he was there for everything. He really was. He's going to be missed.
Yes, he is. I know that. Oh, excuse me. All right. So how many more do we need for a quorum, Jeremy?
And I'm waiting for to get the stand sheet done. And let's see, I'll count. I think we have a quorum though. Pretty sure we do.
I think we have 8 here. 8.
Eight.
The sergeant of arms doesn't yell us down. We can get started.
Yeah.
There another board member that's
Right,
online?
Right, that's right.
It's a committee chair.
What?
Is there another board member as the committee chair that's online?
Well, I'm online. I don't know who else is. I mean, I'm on my iPad. I have no idea.
6 people.
Yeah, no, I know you're here, Sandy, but
Bernadette's on her way.
who's that?
Bernadette, so she should be here within,
I don't think we'll see Yahweh, right?
He's out of town.
Yaha's in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, it's gonna be kind of hard.
We need one more. Oh, wait. No, we got Sandy. We got a format.
Art?
We got a format, we're gonna start now.
Yeah, I think it's.
Now we have a forum if you understand.
Yeah.
Hi, good evening. It's 7:02 and we have a quorum. This is a meeting of the Leadership Committee. And before we start, we just, as we normally do, the committee will discuss whatever they have discussed, and then we'll go to the guests that are here, and then they would have 2 minutes to speak and say whatever they wish. I asked everybody to take a look at the calendar. This way we don't have to go through everything and discuss it. If there's any problem with the calendar, is there anything that anybody wants changed with the calendar? Anybody online?
So Al's asking, I'll share the calendar here, the December calendar.
All right, well, we all looked at it already, so there's no reason to, go over every item. Hopefully, everybody looked at it, and if they have any conflicts, they'll let us know.
Yeah. So everybody's gonna have a meeting? Sandy, you're gonna have a meeting in December?
No, don't do that, Jeremy. I asked everybody to look at it.
All right,
If they didn't look at it, it's on them.
all right, so then,
All
we'll
right,
move on. then.
otherwise we'll be here all night, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, all right, move on.
Okay.
So that's the calendar, December.
Jeremy, I'm sorry, Jeremy. I didn't realize I was muted. I wanted to say, take off the meeting. If I can get another speaker, then I'll put it back on.
So let me just. So just remember, if you don't have an agenda right now, and you're not sure you're gonna have a meeting, I'd say we don't schedule it. Because-
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, no, I'm doing that for you right now. Anybody else, because if by chance we schedule it, we cancel it, we forget to notify somebody, the onus is on you.
Yeah,
I'm not taking responsibility for,
if something comes
Yeah,
up later on
forget.
and you want to hold the meeting, just let Jeremy know, but then it's on you to make sure that all the other members of that committee know.
Yep.
We
All right,
have
we
the,
got it.
we have the minutes
Good.
of, we have the minutes of May, June, September, and October.
now we only have May and September. I just received October. I don't think we have September yet. But it's been online, well, at least I'll pull it up. That helps for everybody. It's up to you. I mean, everybody should have ideally reviewed it beforehand. They're really short, they're really sweet. They're not sweet, but they're short.
Which ones did you send out, Jerry? May and
It was in the, it's attached again to May and June. This is May, for example.
I'm gonna ask that in the future, all minutes be mailed out ahead of time so that all board members can
They were.
review the minutes.
They were-
I'm just, this way, review the minutes. It's on us to review the minutes. And this way, we come in here, we don't have to go through the minutes and waste precious time. We can, use that time for something else. So, this way, it just shortens the meetings. We spend too much time on, going over things that we should have read on our own. And I'm as bad as anybody else, so, it's. I have a motion to accept the minutes for May and June.
Slow motion.
I have one, seconded.
I'll second it.
I seconded.
All right, anybody opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the minutes are taken care of,
And that's for the May and the June, right?
May and June,
May and June of this year.
too much behind. All right, the full board agenda for next week. Jeremy, you don't want to bring that up?
It's up. Everybody can see it, hopefully in mine as well. So I just corrected the date, November 17th. It's at Maestro's and online. Is there anything, so Robert Press confirmed you can speak. Diana, you usually speak, or you speak?
Yes,
What's the topic? If you want?
gosh. Just say just home.
Or just, or the construction.
Folks, you can get back to us.
You mentioned it.
Right.
Yeah, that's why.
A construction project. Thank you.
No, you talked about it.
Okay. So, chairman's report.
Hey, why is my name there? I didn't sign up.
Um,
Can you remove my name?
yes, I can. So
Thank you.
You're not gonna speak at the full board?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay. All right, review of the October minutes. We do have the minutes. They're gonna be published soon. Let's see, for sure that's old, and that's from last month. Ken is scheduling, or looking to schedule a public hearing, so land use. Public hearing, in December. Third of the board is required to go to these meetings, or to a land use public hearing. So I will look at the bylaws and how we divvy that up.
Okay.
But basically, you're just randomly assigned. Usually I take the first slate of people.
Okay.
And then I just take the board and divide by 3.
That's fine.
But anybody voting on anything, any committee? I don't think it's a really short month this month because of Thanksgiving. So if not, we'll move on. Anything else? Full board agenda?
Where would you like to go now? Organizations report. May 20 marks the 100th birthday of this organization.
Sandy, can you please mute? Can you please mute yourself, Sandy? We can hear your TV.
I don't have my TV on.
Well, we can hear somebody talking in the background.
Okay, I'll see what.
Just to me anyway.
No?
Okay,
Anything else for the agenda for the full board?
no, that's. Anybody else have anything for the full board, meeting?
No, this is my is there.
Yeah, gallery session?
Okay, anybody in the gallery like to speak?
Hold tight
2 minutes?
Robert, say something.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
You got,
You got 2 minutes.
Robert, you have 2 minutes and, not counting.
He'll get to it. You're ready. Okay, it's amazing that you're in your second month now, finishing it up, and many committees haven't met yet. 2 of them had, at least one of them, Parks had their own, the Parks Department had their own meetings and tell the board what they wanted, and the board voted on it. I mean, you just should eliminate the Parks Department, merge it with the Sanitation and Environment Committee, like the mayor has done today. He's put sanitation, environment, and parks together, that the sanitation people will be patrolling parks. All right, next, Just Home. Now, I received the 8 pages or whatever that was sent out, the 12 items that supposedly were answered by Jeanette Merrill. And the number one, I see the daily census is typically around 230 pages, 230 people inside the infirmary that are eligible for Just Home. On number 3, it says, how large is your target population? Please see the answer to question 1. On D, how many currently incarcerated people are identified as potentially eligible? Please see the answer to question 1. So that means you're gonna have 230 people inside Jacoby? That's what it says in question 1.
I think that's the 240 they can draw from.
Wow, that's not, they're saying just look.
Have
Then what is,
Riker Island Infirmary.
This time.
can I speak?
Yeah.
I'd like that time given back to me, that
I pause.
Give him the 2 seconds.
I pause.
what is the threshold for success? We will develop science-specific threshold for success as we continue to develop the project, and we'll adjust the program structure and selection criteria as needed for program improvement and increased success. Then there's, will you be tracking? Please respond to question 5, which I just asked. What is your threshold for success? Please refer to question. I mean, there's no answers on here. This just referred to previous questions and they're not answers. All I could see out of this is 230 people are going to be at Jacoby Hospital. And when it says, will there be any additional building? It says, we don't anticipate any additional building. So I can't believe it. And this community board should take a real stance and say, we do not want it at Jacoby, which you have,
We took a
but
vote.
it has to be stronger.
Okay, that's.
Anybody else?
Sure, I'll go.
Okay, you have, ready, 2 minutes.
Okay, we want to acknowledge Rich Reynoso, marathon finisher.
Thank you.
Oh, here we.
Oh,
December 12th,
congratulations.
the land use public hearing and the full board meeting, is that the vote or that's just a description of it? Because the public,
We're gonna have a public hearing on December 12th.
after the full board meeting.
No, full board meeting,
Is
full
it
board
on the
meeting.
agenda for the full board meeting? I was just confused.
Do I pause for this one or?
Yes, please.
Yeah, pause it for, till Jeremy goes.
so right now we're looking at the 22nd for our meeting.
No, on the agenda for the full board meeting for this month.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's the question?
The land use item,
That's just to notify people.
then my other 2 questions are procedural. I'm very confused about the ethics committee procedure and the timing and the dates from here. Responding to an ethics complaint.
Yeah.
I'm very confused about what happens next, and I haven't received a complaint number for the ethics complaint I made. Do I get a number? When do I get a number?
So that,
When does anyone respond?
You wanna finish it? Let her finish it?
Yeah,
Or you
go.
keep
Oh.
pausing.
And then procedural questions too on the Just Home letter of objection, like what exactly is the letter going to cover? Do people have to review it? And
yeah, no, the board is gonna review.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
Any other questions or is that it?
that was it, but the ethics committee procedures from here.
So that's something,
here on that.
yeah. I was on the phone with the co-chair of the committee earlier today. We're going to. So obviously this is a little bit of a hiccup at the last full board meeting, right? Because not all the committee members were at the last committee meeting, so they didn't know the complaint necessarily. So we need to figure out what's the process. So who receives the complaint? I get and staff for the most part, unless the staff member is being complained about. But should it go to the committee right away? Should it go to the chairs and then the chairs look at it? And ideally, the chairs look at it first and then they say, okay, this is great, send it, or this is okay, send it on to the rest of the committee. This is what we need to really buckle down as soon as possible. Because obviously, you're concerned because you have a complaint, but so do at least 2, maybe 3 other people.
I think it should go right to the ethics committee, and let the ethics committee decide whether it should go, if it's worthy of going for the board. rather than having
It's
the
worthy.
board and then send it back. It should go, I mean, it's
It's
a
up-
an
yeah.
ethics situation, so let it
It's
go to
whatever.
the ethics committee right away, let them deal with it. And then if they feel it should go further, then they can bring it before the,
Well, at their last meeting, they said they had procedural questions and needed further guidance, maybe from the Bronx Borough President's office. And meanwhile,
That is
Bronx
actually in
Police has
process
asked
right
me
now.
if
Like
they can interview me.
we're actually working very, very hard on that right now.
Okay,
So we're trying to get a process for, professional conduct and for ethics complaints, like we're trying to get that all and, getting guidance from the VP's office is a little, it's, it's a slow and steady wins the race.
right. Because I've asked them for guidance too, because Bronx Times wanted to interview me about it.
Sure.
So
It,
I wasn't
look,
gonna
Diana,
agree
if
to
you
the
can get,
interview
if you
without-
can get them to work faster, please do. But we are working
I
on
think they're in Puerto Rico.
it.
So
Everybody knows.
Al and Jeremy,
Back
quick
this way.
question for you. Do we have a mechanism for documenting complaints? For example, right, if you have a complaint with the leadership committee, can it be like L for leadership, document number, whatever? Or is that too much to do? Like, let's say, even if it's a community development meeting, so EC or E ethical in this space, ED, and with a number following it, so you have, and then the title of that complaint is listed in there. So, and then the other person, like Diane, will get a number. This is your ED 1596, and we're working on that. Do
So-
we have a mechanism for
So
that?
here's the complaint form, but we want to make sure there's a mechanism that, that works.
That tracks the complaints.
Again, so, the last thing, it was sent to the chairs of the committee, it was sent to the whole committee, that all the complaints have been sent to the whole committee,
Right.
but still, there's nothing, we need to iron out. Going forward, what is the real process? Should it automatically go to the committee? Well, obviously it has to be reviewed, because if the complaint is about a member of the committee, they shouldn't necessarily be privy to it in the same form.
I understand, but I understand all of that. So the paragraph number 4, I guess, says that each submission will be issued a number, right? So this would be like ED 1596.
Yeah, prior to the time of the scheduled public hearing.
Right.
addressing the complaint.
So there's a mechanism where you issue a complaint number to a particular complaint, so you can track it, right?
yes,
That's the idea.
It's in place?
I believe,
But it's-
I believe. so.
says it
Be in the
here.
bylaws.
We need to make
Do we,
sure.
no, is it in a folder on a computer where it's tracked? I don't know.
So we have, it's
For
it's
tracking.
sent to it,
should be
it's
something.
sent via email.
Absolutely should be.
We have
something.
it in an email.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of it, like, first of all, public hearing, no, public meeting, right? We don't address things at public hearings necessarily.
No.
No, what the
I'm
question,
not
what the
getting
question is
into
when a complaint comes in, do we keep a file of the complaint someplace?
Yeah, I don't need to know the details. I just need to know, is there a mechanism where, like Diane's number, like she's issued a number, so you know it's connected to Diane because she has a number. So she calls back and said, well, you gave me item number, complaint number ED 1596. So you look it up on the
And you
computer.
refer to it.
Oh, okay. And then you can answer, and it said, if there's a response to it in red below, you have responded to it on this date. It's taken care of, done.
So again, she is informed before the.
No.
That's
I'm
fine,
not-
But he just got a good point.
This is
Another
the
I'm not denying it.
If I could,
It's right here,
speak
though.
on that,
No.
I think for members of the community, it's not, that's not delineated.
Okay.
So like,
Right, but some-
certainly like
Yeah.
Diana has nothing with her.
I know, but
we
is
more right
it
now.
recorded with a number?
It is not at this point.
No, she has.
But that
received a
is the
response.
process that she has received a response. That is the process that we're trying to figure out right now.
Okay.
I haven't really actually.
But it
listened
should
to
be
her.
definitely.
I mean.
I think,
called
yeah,
her.
I think it should be.
A little
We
bit.
don't
I
do
mean,
it.
it's been documented in these meetings, you brought it up.
We have.
We haven't received a complaint.
Okay.
For a reference.
So, yeah, if it does say on the form that there's gonna be a number issued, there should be some kind of
That should be
Yeah.
automatic.
file
Yeah.
that
I mean,
it's
you know,
automatically done,
just-
the file, it's put in there with the number on it, and we can track it from
Yeah.
there. So if.
Yeah,
it's
because you
not-
can always track it. And once Diane has a number, she can call up the board and you could call it up on your computer. go to that file, look that number up and say, okay, this was your complaint in writing, and this was the response. And if there's no response, it'll be blank. Response, blank. Nothing's there. You say, okay, we haven't responded to it yet.
Or the status of the complaint.
Or the
Where are we in terms of
Yeah.
investigation?
Because I don't see
That's what
any
needs to be
other
on
way
there.
of tracking.
It's just like when you call 311, right?
Mhm.
And you're filing a complaint
No, we're in the
with the
process.
city, they issue you a complaint number.
Mhm.
So
Right,
if this
immediately
we'll
is
get back to you
already
within-
here, why has that not been done up until this point?
Well, because
It's okay.
it's issued a number which will be made known to the complainant
Right.
prior to the time of the scheduled public hearing addressing, it should say meeting, addressing the complaint. So when the committee is ready
Meeting, just,
to address it,
yeah.
And it hasn't been a number issue.
Yeah, well, yeah, let's do that.
That's fine.
Yeah, we haven't done it, let's do it.
Nico.
Yeah, it's just the right.
Makes it
We're in the
easier.
Can we
process
just do it now?
of revising the
Do it now.
form.
Yeah, we should do it now.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, so we're in
No,
the
no,
process of
we-
revising
like,
the form.
Diana, I
And
definitely
updating
want you to
everything.
know, like, I'm working overtime on this. So
Like,
like,
you could
we're,
track
we're
it.
doing the form, we're doing I've actually put a draft, like, ethics and professional conduct manual together.
Right.
So like, it's very much definitely in the works.
Right.
But again, we have to get it cleared by the COB, we have to get it cleared by the VP's office.
Yeah.
And so,
No, I'm sure you're doing it due diligence, but you know, what the Earl mentioned was the fact that we should track it. We should keep that.
well,
Yeah.
indeed,
That's up.
I wanted to give Diana a number
It
as
should be
soon
in-
as she
yeah,
put her
it should be in
complaint.
your
in,
report.
But, you know,
It
it's,
should be in,
Make
it's
sure
gonna
we-
be all the stuff that's in a file, that's all.
Process.
I
As
think
soon
that
as
should
we
be
get the
automatic,
complaint, We
and-
should get it numbered and
that
booked
should
and
be.
filed.
that should be-
That way we can
but
track.
that's,
Be written
that's
down.
where we're going.
Yeah, we're working on that, so.
Like, you can track it. You can say like ED 11, I mean, community board 11, right? 001, first complaint. Dash 11111022. November 10th. So you know what these numbers mean. That's how I do my things. I document them so then I know what it means. Like 11 means community board 11 first complaint dash the date 11/10/222. So I know, okay, that's when it was done. And that's it. It's just simple as that.
It's not difficult, though.
No.
Excuse me, has anybody else checked other community boards, how they deal with this, out of curiosity?
There's only one really, CB8 in Queens.
I think we started it, if I remember right, a few years ago, we put that in. I don't know if other.
No, we
community
did not.
No,
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 we
Other
did
community
not.
boards were doing it. I don't know if
The other
other community boards were doing it.
The other
No, we
community
just
boards
haven't.
We got a meeting.
Let's start now.
Okay, can I talk? So we had a meeting, the Bronxborough President's Office, Al and me, in which we were informed that we all have to create this committee by the city law department. So I don't know about the other boroughs, but all 12 Bronx boards should have a disciplinary committee. I think Miguel, what he's doing is modeled off of Community Board 8. They got a lot of lawyers on their board. They all like that stuff. So
It's Riverdale.
So he's.
Oh, lawyers. No, it doesn't matter, just lawyers.
We put it- I mean, we put it in right away. We put it in, we came right back from that meeting and that was, so we picked the chair and we.
Yeah, other boards maybe not doing it.
I was on board 8's ethic committee for 5 years. We really never had problems. We took care of them 1 through 3. If there anything.
Was it automated
Some,
or
you know,
was it done
We
manually?
never had, we took care of it within a month.
You know, some,
Like,
you know,
the
some
question is,
more,
if the-
We had
some,
monthly meetings.
you know, some
What's the
take a little more
process?
time than others. It's just you've got to, you know, go find evidence and you got to get information and you got to, you know, and they're doing their due diligence and, you know, have enough faith in them that they'll do it right.
My question is, is it automated or was it done?
No, it wasn't automated back.
Right, so there's a difference, and when you do automation and any kind of IT backup, there's a process that you have to set in place, so it will take longer. But if something is not automated and there's a process set in place, it can be done manually.
Mhm.
So either way, you know, if there's a process set in place and there's a number that you start, it's the same thing you do in a business.
Mhm.
You know, when you have an estimate number, same thing, you have an invoice, you have an invoice number. You don't have to have it automated. It's great if it could be done quickly. But I mean, that's why I did it in
But to
2 or
Robert's
3 of
point,
my businesses.
it should be way quicker,
Of course, yeah, but it just the setup, I mean,
but we just need a process that's
Right.
clear.
So since we all agree, let's go.
Sure.
Any other members of the gallery wish to speak?
oh, no.
We'll get you in there. Anybody online?
Anybody from the gallery who would like to speak? Any member of the public? Now's your
Yes,
chance.
I'm not sure, Roxanne Delgado, can you give me a 30-second warning, please?
Yep, you got it.
Thank you so
Please.
much. I'd like to mention, I'm not sure if there's anyone present from the Transportation Committee, but the September 12, 2022 minutes are still not available on the Community Board 11 website, nor were they emailed to the public. And that meeting was not videotaped. So therefore, there's no recording of that meeting. So you're in violation of the open meetings law, which mandates minutes within 2 weeks of a meeting convened. And those minutes discuss the White Plains EV charging proposal, which no one has any idea since that meeting was not recorded, nor were the minutes provided. So please abide by the open meetings law and post or send the minutes for September 12, 22 Transportation Committee. Is that possible? Yes or no?
We can publish it. We do have the minutes. We don't have to publish them.
Yes, you do. The open meeting law requires you to post it on your website.
It should be made available. Doesn't mean you have to publish them.
Yes, it does. They changed the law. It says now it requires you to put it on the website unless there's a recording. In this case, there was no recording of this minute. I could send you the law of the open meetings law, but you should know it.
Talking and then you can respond because
Yeah, is there anything else you want to announce?
I don't want to keep pausing.
Well, I sent you an email. You ignored it, so I'm just going to send an email again. But you should know the law. It requires you to post it on the website now.
You can.
Okay.
Anything else?
Yes, regarding the budget. Again, another email that you ignored. I asked you several times to send me the copy of the FY24 budget needs that was submitted to OMB over a week ago. You still haven't responded to my request.
Okay, anything else?
Well, will you respond to my request and provide me as requested?
Yes, is there anything else first?
Well, that's the second item, and I have one third item.
Okay, go ahead.
The third item is Bronxdale Road Diet. There needs to be some investigation why Community Board 11 did not inform the community of this proposal in March 2021, and why they did not inform us when they were notified by DOT on July 7th this year that this proposal was going to start. This at the hearing, this excuse that the city was going to do what it's going to do, regardless if Community Board 11 told us, is nonsense, because they were going to do the improvement, but it didn't have to be to the extreme that's being done, because the community had no input or no opposition to the city went out its way to create a design that's actually putting all users of the streets and sidewalks at risk. So we need to have some kind of disciplinary action on that. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. So
just-
she has three, okay, Jeremy,
There are 3 items.
three items. First of all, post online issues. Are you gonna do that?
Well,
Budget requests, are you gonna give her the budget request and Bronxdale Road Diet? Okay, sure.
Okay.
Post online, go ahead.
So I will verify on the requirement for that. They will get published. It's just a matter of time. The second item was,
budget requests.
Okay.
But-
so although some people think I ignore their emails, just because I don't respond to them directly when they want me to, doesn't mean I do. I did reach out to city planning, if we still have access to, if they can give us a copy of our budget priority submission.
Mhm.
I'm waiting to hear back from them on that.
So you're waiting to hear back before you issue any budget request?
Before I submit, or before I give anything out to anybody. I mean, I don't have it right now.
Okay, you don't have it right now. Okay. The last one was Bronxdale Road Diet proposal.
Okay, we had a meeting, it was publicized. Yes, they notified us, I think, in July. It slipped through the cracks, but I don't know what else to say about it.
Okay, so but the FY budget, you submitted that. How can you not have your own copy of what you submitted to OMB?
Because I did not submit it, a board member submitted it, and I was working on other things, but
Well, if you would just respond to email and just state that, then I could just, wait. It says, just to respond, just common professionalism and courtesy to respond to an email. Those emails were sent weeks ago. It's not like I'm waiting, demanding a 24-hour response, but thank you. Have a good night.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so the next is, all right. So Jeremy, these are things we gotta respond to, I guess, and
Yeah.
so, all right, the next person,
Anybody else?
anyone else?
I just want to respond to one of the things that Roxanne mentioned.
Okay.
We did meet about the road diet. We met with DOT, the head of DOT, and complained about, we showed him. We walked the street. We said, how do people open their car doors?
Mhm.
It's a disaster waiting to happen. These all engineers, the engineers were wrong. I said, you
When-
should have
when
spoken
was
to the
that-
community.
when
walked
was
through
that
with the
meeting?
community.
What was,
When was
it
that?
was just recently.
It was myself, Yahe, and Jeremy.
Okay.
We walked, and I'm sorry, Veronica, and Veronica.
No one
Um,
mentions me.
And we showed them, how do you get out of driveways? People can't get out of their driveways because they can't see. The
They
cars
can't
are
see.
right there. So when you put out, there's no room for error. They listened, they were gonna take it under advisement, and good luck.
So it has to be followed up.
Yeah, well, we'll see, if DOT ever decide they're gonna do something different than they already chose. And they could, we gave them a suggestion, they take a little bit away, there's a buffer between the bike lane and the cars. If they move that buffer of cars into that buffer lane, then people will be able to open their doors and they won't be, traffic won't be coming. And it's easier to look for a biker, and it's a wide lane, so the bikers, would have no problem.
Yeah, we don't have a problem with the bike lanes. We know the bikers need to be safe also, but the people driving need to be able to get out of their car safely also. So it
Get
has
out of
to
their
be
drivers.
a
It's a
kind of,
disaster waiting to
I know what
happen.
you're
It's
talking
just,
about, yeah.
whoever planned it, that guy's gonna be a moron.
And that was not brought,
And that's on the record.
that line was not, those final proposals were not brought to the community board.
And that's what Roxanne's saying, was it wasn't brought to the community either. because
They
it
were brought up last year, March 2021, but you didn't put it on the agenda, so no one knew about it, but it was presented.
After
September
March
11 or March-
2021, it was not brought to the community board when they were, so, we were all blindsided.
Yeah,
We were all
No, but
blindsided. It was
but on
not-
July 7th this year, they notified that they were going to proceed with the project. So again, you failed to notify the community twice, not just once. But that's nonetheless, at the public hearing, most people ask for the traditional road diet. So I'm glad you had this meeting with DOT, but you have to include the community. It's not for you to decide. And most people at the public hearing said they were not against the bike lanes, but it should be the traditional road diet, not the way the bike lanes is alongside the curb, which is creating a lot of issues for the disabled as well. Thank you.
Yep.
This is something, this is Chris.
How could we let the community know if the community board is not informed?
Roxanne, how did you find out?
Informed you on March of last year.
Jeremy, can I say something about that?
Good.
Okay, as everybody can see, if you click, because that's what happens when you don't read minutes. Look at the minutes on March. March minutes, it gives exactly detailed what was the presentation about the road diet.
Chris, those minutes were posted a year after the meeting.
Even among other things, it says that they're gonna lose 60 parking spots.
Those minutes were posted in
Okay,
September of
can
this
I
year after the road
finish,
diet.
Roxanne,
Those minutes were not available.
Roxanne, can I finish, please? We gave you the courtesy, you spoke. Can I
You're
finish?
misinforming.
Okay, so on the minutes, it's very detailed what exactly happened. Secondly, when it comes to about DOT, there was kind of a sneaky thing that they did, because they know very well during July and August, we don't meet. Among other things, they slide it in, and who knows, maybe one of us was in vacation, somebody else was dealing with some other things, it slipped through. The whole point is this: why didn't they do the same thing that they did on Morris Park or on East Chester Road? What was the big deal? The attitude that DOT has is that I'm going to do the way I want it. Forget about you guys.
Well, they did it that way because they got sued last time, right, Al?
You mean the other way?
Didn't do it good.
The original way?
No, when they did Morris Park Avenue
They got sued?
before Bronxdale, yeah, they got sued. So they wanted to make sure it happened.
From my understanding, yeah, I even said it, that he spoke with the commission, and the commission said, whatever guys are going to do, we're going to do what we got to do.
The thing is, I think what we have to do now is stay on top of DOT to make the changes that were suggested, that's all. And we just can't let it go day. Somebody's gonna get killed, absolutely gonna get killed.
Definitely, I agree.
The whole point is, the people have nothing against about bike lanes. As much as it was designed the same as Morris Park, nobody would have said nothing. But they put it the way that it is somewhere in Brooklyn, where it's next to a park that is easy for people to go in and out. They forget that this is one of the main thoroughbreds.
Well,
And among other things, why do we have to get rid of 60 parking spaces? I don't understand. And that's why people started screaming at the public hearing in front of Pine, where all the parking spaces are taken away. That doesn't make sense to me.
Chris, the biggest objection to Morris Park was the fact that businesses wouldn't be able to do business. That was the biggest. It wasn't the bike lane. Nobody was against the bike lane. It was the
That's what I'm
fact that we
saying.
had so
Why
many
did you
stores
keep the
along the
same?
avenue.
They should have kept the same design, even for Bronxdale.
Now, Bronxdale doesn't have as many stores, but you know, this would have, the diet would have worked probably better. And the way it was done here would have been done there, would have been easier.
Parallel parking was brought up here in 2015, right? We brought this up.
Yeah.
This is not the first time parallel parking on Bronxdale Avenue was brought
Yeah.
up. Joe, you gotta remember it. It was done when John Fratto was chair.
Yep.
So we're going back to 2010, 2012, whatever. I think I looked it up because I brought it up again. And, you know, everybody was like, no, it can't be done. It can't be done.
This-
You know, and honestly, you probably could have done it, would help the merchants to have more parking.
The sad
That was the
thing,
whole
the
point.
sad thing is people don't listen. I mean, you know, the powers that be don't listen to the people.
Well,
And nobody cares what the people think. They have this idea in their mind, they're gonna do it. I mean, they did that. That's a disgrace. This is bad. That's a disgrace.
Yeah.
It's an out and out disgrace. Somebody's gonna die.
So Al,
In fact,
Again,
I
somebody
believe
has that.
somebody was already hit by a car because they came out between, you know, crossing the street.
so
You know,
Al,
again, just a quick
A
story.
woman was impaled
Yeah, I
on a
was-
fence.
I was
Like,
going home
you know,
one night, the car was dark, and a biker was riding, I saw the biker in the
My
back
husband
lane.
was actually
But as he
right there.
passed and he was gonna cross over, he cut right in front of the car because he was gonna go across the road. And, you know, had I not been seeing him alongside of me, I knew he was there. But I would have killed him because I didn't have time to react.
Yeah.
Had I not seen, watching him, he would have cut in front of the car, I would have been in.
so Al, quick question. So after you, Jeremy and Yahe and Veronica met, did you get together a document to send to deal to, after the discussion, it was a documented and sent to them? Are they gonna
I don't
respond
believe
to
Jeremy
anything like that?
documented. I think I think he said he was gonna look into it. And he would get back to
But
us.
how would they follow up if we don't?
We emailed.
We
them.
don't.
Yeah, there was an email that we put together, everything that we have discussed with them was put
Okay,
into an
great.
email
Yeah.
as
Right.
the major important things were put into an email and sent to them.
Did you give them a response time? Like when you need a response by? Not really.
They don't work for us.
What we-
No, but sometimes even people don't work for me. As I said, it would, as a courtesy, it would be really great so I can inform the community if you can respond by this date
It's quick for
before our
breaking.
next general meeting. So it's a bottom line. So, so as a courtesy, can you please respond by this date before our next general meeting so we can inform the public? That's
I
all.
think what we have to do now is just keep bothering them and breaking their shoes.
We were at the Keith Cal was at the transportation.
The guy has an attitude anyway.
Can I also add that like certain DOT situations, I'll just give myself for an example. The two that I am following, you go onto the website, they all have numbers. So I'm sure this has a number, okay? And you basically put in that you want a follow-up. You want to know what the follow-ups are, and then you can go there and put in the number and et cetera. So I have things that I get follow-up on because I'm not waiting for anybody to give me stuff. And even though the commissioner does respond when you send an email, and he always has, he might not stop a project or whatever, but you can go on and follow. You can go on by email and follow, find out what it is. It's got a number, put in your email, and then you can get that information, and that sort of keeps you on top of stuff. And there are times when I don't get emails, then I go back on there and I'll say, okay, I know what the number is. Like I got my issues on Rylander and Wallace. We still don't know what's going on there. So it's going on a year, 2 years now, whatever. And then of course with the one way on Union on Rylander going westbound. Okay, so those were things that I was following up on, and everybody could do that also. And then when you respond to the commission, you say, okay, I've been following this number, etc. I want to follow up. I want this, I want that, and copy everybody that's necessary. So it's a way of nudging just professionally with the resources that they give.
Yeah, I just sent an email for a follow-up on one of the issues. So I'm glad Chris is here. So I just looked at from what I can tell, Chris, the September Transportation Committee meeting was in person only. It was not a remote meeting or hybrid. I don't know if you recall, because I see an audio.
Yes,
Because I know you don't need to record a meeting that's strictly in person. I mean, I'll double check on that, but I'm pretty sure legally you don't have to record a meeting that's strictly in person.
Any old business?
Well, I have a question though. It was mentioned that there was a request for the budget priorities and that they're not here in the office at all,
No, we submit them online.
but you don't keep a copy.
I wait for them to respond.
So in essence, if some of the budget priorities are left out, you wouldn't know then.
You would check with the committee chair and see if all the ones that were put in
So-
as requested.
Yeah, but I was a budget chair and I worked with the district manager and we kept a copy inside in the office.
Ask the chair.
And
Ask
we,
the chair,
and
Jeremy.
we even gave at the executive board meeting, which would be your leadership meeting, we went over this with each chair of the committees, and each chair, committee chair, got a copy of it for the positioning. And at the leadership meeting, well, your leadership meeting, our executive board, was where we hashed out the placement. All right, so I can't see how there is not a copy in this board office,
I mean, we will get
or at
it.
least on the computer.
Hey, Malcolm is here. Malcolm submitted them. I don't know, Malcolm, you kept a copy?
Oh, hey, I'm here. Yeah, copy. I'm not sure. I mean, I submitted it, but everything that was requested was put in there.
When you
Yeah.
submit, you say this, you send it by email?
Yeah, I did it online.
Online to fill out.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
through their, it's
And I got
through
an email
their, it's
confirmation.
through their site or it's through?
Yeah, the website. And to be honest, I'll be quite honest with you, the website is like very like they have to do a better job with that website. Like it was horrible, the experience of submitting those budget requests in there.
How many pages?
No, but if you submit a budget request, it's somewhere saved, right? You have it
Right, we,
somewhere.
they
I'm-
have it up there.
Okay.
We'll
So,
do it.
I-
Put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm sure all of the requests that can get put into probably an Excel sheet program that puts it in the right thank you. The right format so that when we get it the way we always get it and we read it through, each one is submitted probably differently from the committee with all the input.
But his question was, do we have it? And Jeremy said, yeah, we have a draft copy of it.
We don't have, I
You
don't
guys
think,
will get a copy.
I think that after it's-
It doesn't give you a copy when you submit it.
That's easy
So
enough to.
we have the draft copy that the budget committee put together as they were
Exactly.
preparing the request.
Right.
We don't have an official copy that was submitted, and that's what Jeremy's requesting, an
And
official
that's
copy of
what
what was
Yeah,
submitted.
but I think you're saying as long as we have a draft copy of what we're
Yeah.
We got
requesting,
something.
yeah, that's
That's
fine.
We'll get it. We'll get
Just
it.
say we have it. We have a copy of draft.
it's just
of what
not done in the
submitted.
formal format.
Right.
Well,
No, it's
I
done-
mean, that's,
It's done through Windows. You punch in for each committee.
Whatever.
what-
all right,
right.
okay,
It's
forget
bad,
it.
whatever it
That's
is.
it. Any other old business? Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry I'm
One
late.
second,
There was a
I'm sorry, under the new law, it requires, I just put the link, under new law, it requires minutes to be posted
Excuse
within
me.
14
I have my
days.
bell here
I'm
for.
sorry.
I just want to clarify, within the open meeting law, it requires minutes posted within 14 days. I put the link on the chat. But you shouldn't need to be required to provide minutes. That's called transparency.
Roxanne, we're done with the gallery session. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, but I'm bringing up something to correct the misinformation.
Okay.
You're violating the law.
We will correct.
You're
it.
violating the rules, Caroline.
Okay.
So.
No,
we'll correct it.
it's a law. The full law, it's a law.
Please
It's
let
legally
a
required to
board,
do.
let a committee member speak. Thank you. Okay,
That's my rule.
I apologize for being late. There was a miscommunication and I was waiting and that's why I was late. But I did have a few things that I wanted to bring to this leadership meeting. One of them is, did we go over you guys go over the calendar yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, sorry
You
about
missed
that.
it.
Okay, I apologize. So as far as the education committee, it will be there. The actual speaker is not final. So, but I do want to bring to the leadership committee a suggestion for our October calendar. What I did notice that there was a difference on this October calendar where it said for Columbus Day, Indigenous people, etc., where all of the previous ones, last year, the year before, etc., said Columbus Day. Okay, I would like it to not be said, it's not Italian Heritage Day, it is Columbus Day. That's how it was last year, that's how it was the year before. I went to all the previous ones, and I went to some of the other community boards. So, you know, and if we have to take a vote, well, let's take a vote, but I
You'd
really
like it
would,
to remain Columbus Day.
yes.
Okay.
And also, we should also
That's
say Bronx, I don't know, I mean, we put everything else on there.
Yeah,
And also how about the Bronx Columbus Day Parade put on the Sunday before? That, I mean, it's just a suggestion. And then also for the December calendar, we don't have Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. It was last year and the year before, and you have everything else on there with all the other holidays. So
Because you want to what?
I would like the Christmas,
Would you like to hear why first?
excuse me?
Would you like to hear why it's done this way?
Yes, she
I
would.
think it would hurt to understand the process. So a while ago, I had a mess with the calendar. Rabbi Ken, we put this on, is this an important Jewish holiday? Rabbi Fuchs, Jeremy, let me make this simple for you. Go to the alternate side calendar, put what's there on, and that's it, nothing else. And that's what I did. And so they changed the name on the alternate side calendar, I'm sorry, that's what they did, that's what the city did.
Alternate side parking, you mean?
Alternate side parking restrictions. That's the only, I know other people in the past, they want to put other Christmas Eve and all that stuff. I mean, I think everybody knows the day before Christmas is Christmas Eve. Christmas is on there.
Well, the thing is, it's easy enough to do, you know,
Well, we can say it's easy, but
what's the problem with putting on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day? What's the problem about?
Just so you know,
what-
Community Board 10 doesn't have, and also Community Board 6 have no, because of, I guess, any kind of disagreements, there are no holidays and nothing on the.
they don't do anything.
They have what's done with Community Board, the meetings, etc. Community Board 10 does not. I went to Community Board 10.
Interesting.
So as not to have to ruffle any feathers anyway, it's none of theirs on it. I also went to 6, because those are the two, I mean, I didn't go to every single one, but,
So they don't put anything at 10.
what?
They don't
No,
put anything on.
no, you could look it up. You
They
could
just put, you're saying they just put community board.
They put the meetings, the agendas, and whatever
They
else.
leave everything else, they leave everything else out to avoid any issues.
That makes
The reason
So
why
if we-
we have a
But
lot
that-
of the holidays on there is because of past leadership meetings.
I
With the
agree.
calendar, we had holidays that weren't listed, and that was conflicts with some of the meetings. That's why we have them listed on ours.
I
So
agree.
for
I think it's important, but I am asking that for Columbus Day, for it to go back to the way it was last year, for it to be Columbus Day.
I think,
But if you're saying that you don't want any holidays. that's
Well,
Columbus
if
Day,
it can't be
it's-
done and everybody objects to
No,
it, and I think,
no, I think what we do is when we make up the calendar, it goes before the leadership committee to okay the calendar. We put in the things we want to put in and take out the things we don't want to put in.
Yeah, we do it
I
now.
think the
So-
religious leaders, you have Yahi with the Muslim community, you have Rabbi
Yeah.
Fuchs with the Jewish community.
And
You have,
me with the
there's-
Christians.
there's Catholics here, I'm sure there's whatever. I don't know if there's a
we have-
booth surrounding the place, but
yes.
whatever religion you belong to, and you see a holiday that should be on there, put it on. Doesn't hurt anybody. It's a big
I would
deal.
like my birthday to be put on.
And the thing is, maybe what we need to do, rather than to put the burden on Jeremy for everything.
It's the 27th,
Is
isn't it?
someone in charge of, you're in charge of the Jewish holidays, you're in charge of the Catholic holidays, you're in charge, and this way it's done. And if it falls on anybody, why did you put your holiday on there? Joe, it's on you.
I get Jeremy's point, though. He was trying to get a baseline for, all right, this is how they do it. Let me not try to
Yeah, you
change
know,
things up too much in terms of logic. But I mean,
What's the Christmas Eve? Why do you need Christmas Eve on there?
Because
Christmas-
people go to midnight mass, so Christmas Eve, there's not gonna be anything on
And
there.
for
some
some nationalities, they
schedule.
celebrate,
And so you will need,
Christmas Eve.
but we don't need New Year's Eve though, because nothing really happens on New Year's Eve, right? It's just Christmas Eve. That's really,
Well,
because
that's
it
last
has,
year's calendar.
because it has a significance in it.
Yeah, but
Yes.
it doesn't even matter. You want to put New Year's Eve on the calendar, what's the big deal?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
except for partying, there's not much that happens on New Year's Eve.
Christmas Eve, you're off. I don't know about your
that's
house.
the coffee, and you're at Christmas Eve, you stay up for a while.
Well, I
So-
see what the big problem is. The holidays have always been placed on calendars
I mean,
throughout.
again, I'm just following
So-
this.
That's all.
Can that be changed?
I mean, yeah, it can be changed.
Oh, okay, so it's not like you.
No, it's not like
put a format and it can't be edited.
So also it's easier to do it before I send it out before I publish it and all that stuff.
It's on there, it's Columbus Day.
And like Al said, ideally you do it here then.
But I don't
Okay.
see, I don't see New Christmas Eve.
Last year it was. I looked at last year's
Well,
calendar.
this
Oh,
is-
yeah,
this
you're
is-
right.
This is the
Yeah, that's
alternate
cool.
time
Saturday.
working calendar. This is where he gets it.
What's
from.
Christmas Eve?
Okay.
Christmas,
So it's-
Christmas and Christmas Day
What's
On the
Christmas
are
weekend.
on the weekend, so that's Monday when it's observed.
So maybe
That's
that's
I
why.
swear I went out and put that,
What's
I
Christmas Eve?
swear it said something else.
It's Columbus Day.
Yeah, this they just called this day. But I bet you, I saw it somewhere else.
Go to 22 then.
I hardly see Christmas Eve on calendars. That's what I mean. I always see
Also
Christmas
would
Day.
help with the calendar. because
I don't think it hurts anybody to put Christmas.
Yeah, really, it was on there last year.
You know, it's
It's such a,
It's-
such a,
Yeah, I know.
point. We all do it, we all look at the calendars.
We go on with the meeting and
you know,
stuff.
Christmas Eve is people do go to
My wife's
Mass
birthday.
and
I don't work Christmas Day.
you know,
No.
that's what you.
All right, let's get,
Let's make
It's
it
the
so
holidays,
time.
put the holidays out there, especially the major holidays.
So I don't, I just wanna, I don't wanna belabor on that, so. the
You
other thing-
are.
The education committee had a motion for the letter to the electeds, et cetera. I just want to know a timeline when that letter will be put together. The letter to the elected officials with regards to having a round table meeting, however.
Yeah,
a
I
motion
don't
was.
think, I think there's a request that,
I was just wondering, I didn't ask a time frame, but I know that it was voted on to have a letter. And I just want to know a time frame for that. I don't want to go through.
let's try to have a draft prepared for your next meeting. So
Okay,
your committee can review it, make sure it's the way you want it worded.
thank you.
That's why I asked for housing with the just home thing. And they're gonna
Okay.
help with that, so.
Okay, thank you. So I just want to know when to follow up.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to nudge unnecessarily. So,
nudge.
okay. The other thing is that the issue of alternate side parking in Van Nest, et
Yep.
cetera, has been a letter that, my first letter to the community board was on May 10th. And I have been nudging ever since.
Yep.
Okay, and I will not stop nudging until I basically get it to come to,
I spoke to DOT when he was here, and
okay.
he said they're gonna revisit the alternate side.
Yeah, but
when they're
yes,
gonna do
that
that,
was in the
right there.
email, but yeah, then it kind of falls through the cracks, okay, and then nothing gets done.
What,
So my,
what was the issue?
yeah,
So we have a new co-chair of the sanitation committee. So
yay.
We were able to
I brought it up to
Before you came-
Avriel also at the full board meeting, and also,
we tried calling her, we emailed her, she emailed me to call her, we tried calling her again today. So I.
do we need to have it come to the committee? I mean, if not, if it,
It's, we got a meeting scheduled. Before you got here, I think the sixth, we say the sixth? Yeah.
what is it?
The sixth.
I will not have a Christmas with all these meetings. None of us are going to have a Christmas.
And I sent the requested sanitation right before.
Okay,
So-
but it's also, there was a request to have transportation and sanitation be a joint meeting, because Debbie Cadillac had a issue that was also brought up, Favreal, and,
She didn't tell me what specifically is the issue.
yeah, I
She
mean,
tried to.
I could, if you want me to ask her to send you an email with,
That would be ideal.
yeah, okay, because
Alright.
it's something, when we have joint issues like this, we should have joint meetings and basically kill two birds with one stone. But this is how we get things done when we do that. So that was another thing I wanted to bring up. So I will have, I think Debbie did give me information. I did give it to Avriel. I will go through my emails. If not, I will ask her to send it to the chair and the co-chair. And also to chair and you, okay, whatever. So I don't know if the calendar is going to be changed for this month or if it's gonna go into next month, if you guys want to have a joint meeting.
The only other thing I wanted to bring up is, we used to have holiday parties. at the
Yes.
board. It's something I'd like to continue. It's just nice to get everybody together. We didn't do it because of COVID for the last couple of years, but I think it'd be nice to get people together.
Yeah.
So
Last year it was right before Christmas Eve, wasn't it? The 20, I looked at last
The
year's
ones on the
calendar.
calendar. I didn't see Christmas Eve on the calendar.
Yeah, it was the 23rd because I remember it was the 23rd that we had it at Pasta Pasta.
That was a very small Christmas
Yeah,
party,
nobody
though.
showed up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very small.
So I'll say this, I enjoyed it because I met a lot of you.
Right,
I
then you get
met
to
a lot of you face to face. I think I told you this last year.
Yes, you did.
It's
Yeah.
good to get to know new folks to meet each other and
It
meet
was nice.
everyone.
I- I
If
enjoyed
not,
it.
you never know who each other is.
It was a small turnout, but it was nice.
Yeah, well,
Yes, it was
To your
nice.
point, I think, yeah, it's a good idea.
Free booze.
okay, we're good.
That'll get everybody.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have more this time because, we're a year later.
I
Hopefully.
don't remember why I couldn't go last year, but I'll be there this year.
Well,
I know I wasn't.
There was another event.
We need our bill.
Because of
I need to
the-
do that all the time.
Yes, that's right, Chris.
Sounds good to
You
me.
weren't there because of COVID.
because of the COVID, now the COVID, as per the President Biden, no longer exists, so.
Oh, boy,
Enjoy it.
boy, here we go.
You can't come, Chris, you eat too much.
So that
I
was all.
don't think so.
Not the politicians anymore. No. Anyway,
Yeah, just
Okay,
that.
so anything else?
That's it. Anything on new business?
None of them. They're all bums.
We're having our Veterans Day thing tomorrow.
Veterans Day tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
over
so
at,
at Peace Plaza.
Plaza, thank you, and Van Ness, 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we
And
have,
also the Veterans Day Parade is November 13th.
Oh, nice.
Sunday, right?
Where is it gonna be?
It's in Throgs Neck. It's
nice.
just go on there. I think it starts at Lafayette or whatever. And then it's a really great Veterans Day Parade and they end up in Bicentennial Park.
Oh, nice.
I've been to it for a couple of years. It's just something that's
no
near my
elected
heart.
officials there this year because they're all, here we go.
My wife.
What time is yours?
Just celebrating.
12:15.
12:15?
Yeah. And Peace Plaza is at 11.
Sure.
Yeah, you have a lot of
I
stuff.
don't need any information from you anymore. I got
So
it.
I'm,
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure because you brought up my name at the last meeting, and if it's not CB 11 business, I'm not sure why you're bringing up my name.
Because I had sent it, yeah, it kind of was. It was something for
No, it
Van
wasn't.
Ness because you were
But
at
it
my
wasn't
meeting.
Van Ness meeting that you brought my name up in,
Yes.
so I don't appreciate that.
Well,
you
I
have
tried to
something-
get you,
if-
I tried to
right.
get you by email and I sent.
While I was on vacation out of the country, I had multiple messages from people saying that you were attempting to get my number. And you did call me a couple times. I didn't respond because I was on vacation. Just so
Okay.
you know, I don't appreciate you evoking my name at a meeting. If I don't respond to you, I don't have any obligation to do that unless it's
Well,
about
it's obvious
CB
you'd have no
11.
obligation because you didn't
Okay.
respond.
Right,
But as a
but
fellow
understand that in
member-
a CB 11 meeting, it's inappropriate.
Okay.
Excuse me,
Yeah, I think that's.
excuse me,
You don't have a problem with holding people's names.
okay?
Yeah, okay.
It's not a CB 11 meeting business, so you
Doesn't
don't
matter.
have
It
involvement.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it
You're a
does matter.
board
I think
member.
it's
Okay,
an
point of
appropriate-
order.
I
Give me-
This meeting,
Ah.
I
This
asked
was,
you,
it had nothing to
as the
do
president
with
of the Civic
CB 11.
Association, I'm
That had
sorry.
nothing
I'm
to do.
disagreeing.
Okay, well, I'm gonna disagree.
Guys, good, everybody
It's
disagree.
inappropriate.
So you agreed to
Agreed
disagree.
to disagree.
I agree to
Okay.
disagree.
Keep going.
Can we-
Let's
can
keep
we-
going.
yeah.
Besides, the bathroom does not work.
Jean, Francis, you are not a board
Okay.
member, so please
Just to let you know that.
Listen,
refrain from
can
your
I have,
behavior.
listen,
Is there any-
I don't want to use my my
I'm
outside
speaking
voice.
to a board member about.
Can we
You're
stop?
being
About
inappropriate
business
and
or not.
unprofessional.
Can we stop?
He is not a board
Can we
member,
stop?
No, but
so he should,
are you
he has to
doing-
refrain from that.
No.
Behavior right now is not
No, it's
appropriate.
not.
Calm down.
Thank you.
Thank you
Can
all.
you stop?
I'm
Can everybody stop? Can everybody stop?
We're supposed to be professional here.
This is
I was
not
talking
stop.
Let's do it
professionally.
after the meeting.
I don't need that either.
Don't do it during the meeting.
I don't need it either.
Don't do it
I don't need the bell either.
Well, let's be civic and this is.
Joe, give me a
Excuse me,
second.
okay, go
No,
ahead.
no, no,
Go
no.
ahead,
Listen,
Joe.
listen, everyone
ahead,
keeps
yeah.
talking when I am supposedly, I guess, maybe it doesn't work, the sergeant of arms, right? And I try to get everyone to stop, no one listens. That's not fair. If you had my job, trying to get everyone to stop, but I kept going, you wouldn't be happy either. And I'm trying to get everyone to stop. So put yourself in my shoes.
Are you speaking to me?
Yeah, I'm going to
I
speak.
don't
No,
know.
I'm going to speak to everyone.
Okay.
But I'm trying to get everyone to stop. All right. Then we can discuss this later. But right now, we're trying to get a meeting done, a few things addressed. You made a good point,
Mhm.
right? You made your point. You made your point. You made your point. you need to stop and move on to the next issue.
Then it's a moot
Okay.
point.
Thank you. Any other new business?
Hello? Hello, hello.
Yes. Hey, Rabbi.
Yes, hi. Hi,
It's
Moshe
Rabbi.
Dukes. So this whole idea with sanitation and transportation.
I just stare at you.
Oh, excuse
You're
me.
sitting in front of me. Like,
Guys, stop.
This is,
The rabbi's talking.
okay, what is it, high school now? You need to put you somewhere else?
Oral, as per the conduct rules, if it continues, you
I
do
know.
have the right to ask them
know.
to leave.
I know,
Just-
thank you. But I'm trying to be very respectful of both of them. I really am trying to be.
So,
Go, Rabbi.
oh, Rabbi?
Yeah.
Okay,
good, right.
so this whole philosophy, I don't know, new business, old business of sanitation, transportation, I still don't get it. And I think I told somebody in the office, which I don't remember, I could give up chair, everything. I don't really care either way, but to combine the two committees together, I don't see. If anything, I believe you should move sanitation in with health and hospitals, whatever that committee is called. Because what is sanitation affecting? It's affecting if they're not picking up garbage, they're not this, they're affecting health. They're not affecting the buses, the trains, or anything else within the neighborhood. So I truly do not, and if somebody wants to convince me to understand it, that's fine, but I still don't understand it. I don't see how the two mix. It's like vanilla ice cream and chocolate ice cream. Don't see it. So sorry, folks, I don't see it. My friend Al wants to respond. Anybody wants to respond? I'll listen, but I just don't think it's right.
I think it was just one meeting, no?
Yes, no, it was just for one meeting and a situation that there was a transportation and a sanitation issue.
No, I think it started off, and this somebody out there could help me because there was garbage. There was a garbage on a highway or something like that. There was garbage on a highway, and therefore, because there was garbage on a highway, transportation to join sanitation. Jeremy, do you recall that? That's what I think how this started.
I don't know the actual reasons for it. I just know that was the idea. I know we talked about it. I know you weren't in favor of it. Yeah, whatever Debbie could submit in writing.
And she could bring it up to the transportation committee separately if it doesn't seem to
Well,
have
she
any.
probably has, right, Rabbi? You're basically saying she did, right?
I think she mentioned it one time. I think she did. I mean, I'm not fighting it. I'm just trying to understand it. That's what I'm saying. Just to combine committees, why don't you just combine every committee together and they could talk about everything at one time? Get one meeting a week and they'll talk about everything. So
Okay, Rabbi.
that's what I
So
was
that-
thinking.
Right.
Thank you, Rabbi.
That's this meeting.
Any other new business? Motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
Now you're violating the
Oh,
open
I
meeting law
second it.
and you dismiss it. So I'm going to make a complaint about you because you're violating the open meeting law and you find it to be irrelevant. That's a very important law that you dismissed just at this meeting. Legal notification. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn. We had a second. All in favor? Aye.
Oh,
Thank you, guys. We'll pick a date for the party and we'll talk that around.
We
I
have to
think
go
I
home.
said yesterday or whatever.
Something to eat and
But, you know,
loved ones.
make it a point to go would be nice.
We're not robots.
It's
We have to
8:02.
go home.
8:02.
We all have things to
Andy?
do.
I don't know if anybody was
No?
taking
All
minutes,
right.
but I did, just in case.
All right.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
We put down everybody.